Welcome to the Newton and Willows FC podcast. Each episode we'll be bringing you news, reviews and previews and everything Newton and Willows FC. The boys, the girls, the men, the ladies, the kids, everyone. Are you a player? Are you a coach? Are you a fan? Come on and listen to this amazing episode. Hi and welcome to the Newton and Willows FC podcast with me, Rob Flodder. This week, I've got a weird one. We've got the media team down here, and it is weird because I'm part of the team, and it just feels really weird doing a podcast for this. But we have Mr. Tiver with us, we have Craig, and we have Phil. Welcome all, gents.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks for having ourselves on our...
You're as much a part of this as us.
Yeah, anyway, we'll get through that one. But yeah, this wasn't our idea though, before we start this, right? We ain't got like that big an ego, and there's someone else that sort of bullied us into this, isn't there, Mr. Tiver?
Do you know, there is a common theme on every podcast we've done where I get the blame for something, so let's not break tradition. Yes, this was my idea. Yeah, I said, actually, at the end of the AGM, I was like, we do these podcasts and they're really good and they're really insightful. And one of the biggest changes we've had at the football club this year is our media team. So why don't we do a podcast with our media team? And you all said no. And I said yes. Then you said no again. And then I was like, let's just plant that in the group. And here we all are. So thank you.
I still said no, I'm silly.
Yeah. That's true.
Everyone sat here and going, we all
knew it was eventually going to happen, so let's just get it done.
It was going to happen. I'm stubborn like that. And I, as much as I'm making light of it, I wanted to do it for good reason, because around about, it was probably summer last year. It was in the off season. And I remember walking around my garden and I was speaking to Phil on the phone, and he was saying, I think we could do a little bit more on the website. I think we could do, the media or whatever. And I was like, do you know what, Phil? You're bang on. And we've done social media okay, and we've done it okay for 10 years. And it's actually really on my mind. But you know what? It's one of those things that I think it's working. I can't really afford the time. I'm the one responsible for doing it. So by all means, go away and, this is what happens when you open your mouth to me. I've got an idea, you end up like project managing it and running away with it. And then at the same time, Craig, I'd known Craig a long time with the football club. Jackson was at the academy, and Craig was a coach for a little while.
That's right.
And then a change of job sadly meant that he had to stand the other side of the rope. And, said a beautiful sentence to me that, well, I run social media now. I do social media consult. I can get, you more likes and dynamic content and all of this. I'm like, well, this is music to my ears. This is fantastic. I can't believe, we were having this conversation only a week after speaking to Phil. And then some guy said, the Willows FC, are you interested in podcasts? And thanks, Rob, for that, because I wanted to do podcasts and I don't. And then Michelle is really, really handy with a photographer, and we don't do enough imagery. And I wanted to try and give the seniors more profile. And Michelle had volunteered her services and to say I can go and take photos, and they're really, really good quality. And I sort of thought, well, there's a little subcommittee team here in the making. This is fantastic. Let's get everyone in a room. Let's talk about it. Phil had prepared a really, really good, thorough document about what he thought the club was really good at, what he thought we could do in development. That was obviously in consultation with us all. We went away, and the media since September has been absolutely brilliant. It's probably the most talked about thing to me now, as in, isn't our social media brilliant? Isn't the podcasts are fantastic? Still got some work to do on the website, which I know is on your agenda, Phil. Yeah. But genuinely, I think the media team in the 4 months that it's been together, the fact that I'm saying we've got a media team, let me just say that again. We've got a media team, right? And we're all here today, and it's just fantastic. So I wanted to bring you on and talk about that journey.
Appreciate that. Try and beat that then, gents. But it is weird how it happened, I think, because I remember sending that email or on the website and just going, I don't know if they'll come back to me and answer. Like, they don't even know who this is. And he went, yep, okay. And then we met in that room, didn't we? Well, we met in this room while we were recording today. I didn't know anyone from Adam, and we all went away going, buzzed up,
Yeah.
and things are taken on, and the socials look amazing, don't they?
great.
They
Absolutely.
absolutely look fantastic. Even like the AGM slides. Who can put AGM slides on a LinkedIn post and social media like that? You go,
I'll put it to you this way: the AGM slides looked a lot better than my AGM slides on the social media. Like what Craig did with that, I was like, oh, this is like I was reading it for the first time. This sounds really good. Oh, it's actually my words, but it just looks a lot prettier and in more chronological order. So it just shows when you've, to quote Jeff Taylor, our former chairman, I feel now we've got square pegs in square holes. Right, we've got the right people doing the right job and doing it better.
well, yeah, and Phil was at that meeting, so I'll go back to that meeting. I agree with you, by the way, square pegs in square holes, but I was listening to you and I was thinking, this guy is passionate about making this work, right? Going, that's decent. And then, you sort of sat there going, I don't know anybody here, but what's everybody's skill set? And we sort of worked it out very, very quickly who could do what. And then we said, all right, we'll do this podcast. Someone will come down. And we did. And it happened. And after that, we actually got volunteers. My WhatsApp went off. I've got people on there I've never met before. And I'm going, that's his fault. And I'm pointing to Phil at the moment because I'm going, he was really, really passionate about all of it. And as a team, we'll work together, gents, don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I have this habit of, particularly when Andy's about, of grabbing hold of him and sort of putting things to him that may or may not be a good idea and see where it goes. And it's got me here, really, part of this. So that'll teach me. But it was just one of those things of the club this size, and I felt like, and I don't think Andy would disagree, that we were going through the motions a bit with, posts on there, things that were relevant and that, but it wasn't really particularly engaging. Now, I'm by no means a social media guru, although I look at it a lot. But I just felt even an enhancement on that what we had would have just made a difference. And it just so happened to be that Craig met Andy at the same, well, not met him, but engaged with Andy at about the same time as me and Andy were having this conversation. And then, luckily for me, there was somebody who actually knew how to do it properly. So yeah, I think it was just a case. It just needed a couple of heads together to sort of get it rolling, really.
100%. And when we look at the socials now, so we're going to look at Craig at the moment. You've been very quiet in the background for the first 7 or 8 minutes, mate. But it's your turn to get picked on. But we look at the kit and the club colours, okay, and the socials reflect that properly now. It looks so professional. It's not just the Newton Willows badge and some blue background or a bit of yellow. It actually reflects the kit. You've taken that you've really taken that up a level. And you must look at it and go, yeah, I've done all right there.
Yeah. Do you know what? Obviously, it was intentional, but I've said before, I sort of stumbled into doing social media a little bit. Andy touched on, I was coaching for a little bit. I had to step away with my work and then set up my own business with my wife. So now we're looking at, I'm available now and I can do social media. We set up this thing called From the Pitch to the Post. And the idea of the business was doing social media for not grassroots football, but the amateur football where we could get money. I was thinking, I want to enjoy doing it and I want to bring something to the community. So I spoke to Andy, and like Andy was saying, he was approached separately by everybody and it all just fell into place. So we all came down there, we all met, we had a chat, we found out what was what. And I knew straight away once it's such a good time to get involved because with the new kit launch, which was the first time in, how many years was it since?
10 probably.
10 years, yeah. So brand new kit. I saw the Forza Newton sign on a few things where it's like graffitied on. So I thought to myself, when you set up a social media, you set up a brand. It's not just about ticking boxes, having blue backgrounds. It's got to all tie in. So I started using the Forza Newton a bit more. I started using the graffiti style on posts, and it just grew and grew from there, basically. So it was intentional, but I almost feel like I stumbled across it at the same time. So it's one of those where...
I've got to be honest. I hear that a lot on this podcast. I come down once to do something, right? And next thing you know, it's 20 years later and I'm looking after the money or I've got 3 roles and whatever the case may be. But, that comment We spoke about previous about square pegs in square holes. It's a thing. So you're able to do it, but not just do it. You do it to a level. And that Forza Newton thing, it stands out. I think at the end of some podcasts, we've said the same, given a Forza Newton. It just goes, that brand, you go, that's Newton. Do you know what I mean? And we can go on the professional side of things like LinkedIn, or we can have a bit more fun, in your Instagram or Facebook and whatever. It's a little bit more light-hearted, and you go, that's new. And straight away you recognise it. You don't have to think, it stands out, it's in the forefront, right? So to get that from wherever we were and to go from September, we're now in February of the following year, it's leaps and strides, isn't it, for everybody?
Well, one of the things that we initially discussed when we first got together was, you just touched on it there about LinkedIn, Facebook, or the different streams and how we utilise them for what we want to do. And, Facebook's obviously used by a lot of people, and that's where you're going to put a lot of your posts. But let's talk about the fact that we want a commercial side to this as well, in terms of we need sponsors, to keep us going, be it for a team, be it for a, Craig's been running the goal of the months, be it, they sponsor that or whatever. We need that to keep us going. And I think we've not really utilised it in the past to our advantage there. But now that we're looking to grow that, we're looking to get more sponsors on board, but it's got to be a what's in it for them sort of thing. And, part of that is their advertising and showing what they're doing and things like that. So that's where we've got to try and use these media platforms for the right things. One of the things we discussed is, Craig, not a big fan of, I was going to say Twitter, not a big fan of X. And it's not something that I've really used either, but we've kind of started using it for the right things. Whereas myself, Instagram, I've never really been on it. I'm on it now just to see the Newton stuff, to be honest with you, but I've never posted anything. So again, between all members of the team, there's different aspects of what we can do, and we've just got to focus it in the right way, really.
I think you touched upon those other streams. So again, you've got to look back to look forward, don't you? And what we were really strong at, I'd probably give myself a green, from the previous podcast, even myself giving a green. We were superb at Facebook. We had the engagement, the growth of the page was really great. But generationally now, it's an Instagram first and then Facebook. So I'm kind of a generation that is, I still go on Facebook.
Yeah.
But the people coming through that are bringing the kids, to football sessions at a younger age would check Instagram before anything else.
100%.
And if we continue to do what we were doing, we would get some limited success. But, we've talked about TikTok and, what we're going to try and do there. And the podcast is another way of getting messages out there. So we had to, I felt that we need to, and we all felt at that meeting, that we needed to be a bit more dynamic and go down different streams. I mean, LinkedIn is another great example that you've used there, Phil, that, there is some corporate social responsibility. I'm sure it's got a different word these days.
Yeah.
But effectively, organisations want to help in grassroots sports and charities or whatever else. It's an untapped thing for us. And we've got the right people now that are slowly but surely, well, not even slowly, they're building something that's really, really good. And, Phil has called a meeting tonight with the media team that is, straight after this podcast, because although, I'm seeing that it's night and day, the people that are driving this are actually not that happy with it. They're thinking, yeah, that's been quite good, but what next? What next? My job's dead easy now. It's just got the right people doing it. And, I look forward to, the social media posts, the podcast coming out, the posts on LinkedIn, the website we will get to. I promise you, Phil, we will do that. It's evolving. We've had to move with the times.
100%. And look, we've said night and day, and you hit a point there about moving forward. I think that there may be some G up from us there, because another local team might have advertised for some social media support in a way of a podcast or something like that. And it's like, well, they do. And, maybe a trailblazer and go, right, we're going to stay 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps ahead of that as well.
Yeah.
I think that's not gone unnoticed either, that, funnily enough, other local clubs sort of noticed what we were doing, noticed a bit of a boom, because we went from next to nothing to basically exploding into it. And I think it's sort of kicked off other people to think, actually, yeah, that's a good idea. So we've started that off, but I think it's important that we stay ahead. Like you said, we've got to stay ahead of that, and we've got to think what's next, and not really focusing on anybody else, but that's how we keep relevant and keep ahead of everybody to say, look, this is what we're doing now. So yeah, we can't stand still and just think we've done this now. We need to look at the next thing.
I totally agree. Social media is all about being relevant, isn't it? You're only as relevant as your last post, and you're only as relevant as the new influencer setting a new trend, be it at a dance to some stupid music or, chucking...
I'm not dancing, Rob. No one wants to see that.
or eating cinnamon, or chucking ice water over someone. It has to be relevant, and you have to move with those times.
In all seriousness, I mean, we've come up with what we think we should do and everything like that, but there's enough people in this club to come up with ideas. If they want to do something silly, if they want to do something serious, if they want to promote themselves, something they're doing outside the club, I'm going to say signpost them to Craig. Really, we can do it. It's not a case of we're going to do this and it's how we're going to do it. It's for everybody to use. If we'll provide the platforms, you give us the content.
Yeah, it's a community club, and that's what's important. And I want everybody to be involved with it. It's not. I get so many messages saying, I took my club to do martial arts, or I took them to some sort of circuit training. I don't know if it's any good for socials. Of course it's good for socials, because it gives us the ability there to collaborate with other local businesses, and that's a massive thing as well. It goes out to different sets of eyes, different people are seeing it, and that's what we want to do. We want to get everybody involved. So if you've got any ideas, if you want anything, always send it in. There's not a bad idea when it comes to, obviously I will...
Apart from Andy dancing.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah, I've seen that.
We've all
get
seen
loads
that.
of dislikes.
But yeah, that's what we want. We want everybody to feel involved. We've tried a few little things on social media that haven't always gone exactly how we wanted it to. But again, it's trial and error to an extent. You're just working out what works, what doesn't. And I think, as Phil was saying, with noticing other local clubs now picking up and doing similar things, it's good, because it shows we're doing something right.
Yeah, absolutely. Good on them.
At this moment in time, I am happy with the progress we've made. But again, as it's been touched on, we've got more gears to go through, definitely. I would say we're in second gear here. I think we've got another 3 at least we can go through. And we've had a little chat this morning, before the podcast. We had another chat afterwards. We've got ideas on how we're going to do this. Myself and you, Rob, had a chat before we came in the car park. Yeah. We know what we want to do. We know how we're going to do it, and we're going to put it in place. And so if you think it's been good so far, it's only getting better, definitely.
Well, on the previous podcast, Andy was saying about the AGM and the objectives, and they're not really changing too much, but we're just going to do them better, right? And we said, you've got the building blocks. So we've put the foundation in, we've given some effort, and we've measured that. People like it. So if I was to ask you, right, I'm going to put the chairman on the spot, actually. Why not, right? You're here, so tough. We have up to now, there's been 17 episodes, okay?
Yeah.
How many downloads so far? And I don't need exact, because that's out of order, but how in the region of...
Can we all have a guess?
Go on, we'll all have a guess.
I'm going to go with...
I've had my phone open, so they might have seen it.
I was trying to check the Arsenal score on your phone, to be honest, because they're playing Wolves tonight. I would say 900.
900.
Oh, do you know what? I was around there, because I know...
It's 800.
I've done the posts in which we've hit a milestone. So I would say, it's a bit cheeky, I'm going 912.
912.
Got insider knowledge out here.
Go on, Philip.
You'll win it now.
I'm going to say, we broke the 1,000 mark.
We will do soon. The actual number up to now, at point of recording, is 942.
Oh, you won. Well done.
So well done.
Yeah.
But when you think it's like you said, a community club, all right, 942 downloads of a podcast. Now, a lot of people still don't know today what a podcast is and that they're free. Okay, you can just listen, you don't have to pay for it. So it is a community club. However, we have touched a number of countries. Other than the United Kingdom, how many other countries do you reckon you can name?
We'll go that way around. So you go first, Phil.
I'm going to say 16.
Okay, go on. Let's just see if we can name some of...
name the good names.
exactly.
All right. I think you've already got to hit
There's 7 others outside the United Kingdom, all right?
7.
I'm going to say the States and Canada are on there already.
They are.
Yes.
Okay.
Australia.
Australia's on there.
Have we? Was there like a popular holiday destination like a Lanzarote or a Tenerife or Ibiza?
There might have been.
Someone on the beach.
And I'll tell you what, that'll be someone from our open age team going to Ibiza in the summer, like downloading a podcast. I'm telling you now. I want to know who that is, actually.
I seem to remember there was one. There was a random Far Eastern country, I believe, on there as well.
There's Singapore,
Yeah.
Oh, love
Brazil.
that world. Brazil?
Colombia. Isle of Man is put on there is a
You have
separate
to
country.
board a plane or a boat. We're taking that as overseas.
Yeah,
It's have to go over the
That
seas
was
to get
Michelle. Michelle's just telling us that was her when she was out over there working. So we don't.
Hey, a win is a win. We're taking it.
And some of the cities, it astounds me when I read some of this. So Ashburn, Virginia. So, you know, we're looking at the states there. We've got Wigan, we've got Liverpool, we've got Portsmouth. We've got Council Bluffs, Iowa. Who knew that existed? Pennsylvania, Sao Paulo, obviously Brazil.
Yeah.
Douglas, is that Isle of Man?
Yeah.
That's Isle of Man. And Medellin. So the person that's listened in Colombia from Medellin. So it just astounds me. So when we, and Melbourne, Victoria, right? So when we talk about community, if you are traveling or you are part of this club in some way and you've emigrated or whatever, or you're on your holidays and you really, really want to listen about the club and you need to, this is where it's touching, by the way.
Brilliant. We might have expanded in the States because Liam, who came onto the podcast, loved it and he's talked to his, club at Philadelphia. So we might have Philadelphia to add to that because they're all big for that, aren't they?
There's a tour.
Don't mind an away day there,
well, the local football club we was on about that want to start up, they won't poach me, but if Philadelphia are asking, then I'll get back as soon as I can.
Douglas, you never mind.
We can do it remote, honest. But yeah, I just think,
great, that,
when we think about these ideas, walking around the garden in September, I almost did a nursery rhyme there, didn't I? Walking around the garden. I ain't said that to my little ones for years, but those ideas and they come to fruition, that's really what's happening. And people on social media can, I was in Mexico in October, November time. Yeah, I saw some of I liked posts on the beach in Mexico. So I don't think we should underestimate what's happening. Newton and Willows are global.
Yeah.
We've got a global brand on our kit, right? That kit supplier is global. Newton and Willows is now global. Go and ask how many other local football clubs that have got
one in Sao Paulo. I'm Douglas.
I'm not sure about that person in Medellin. It might be my daughter. She lives over there. But anyway, there's some tours there though. I think we should get a flag, and there are some tours. So Benidorm's great, but
I think that idea, and we've done it a couple of times. And I know Mike, who went out to climb the mountain with the corner flag, but having that sort of flag, the old Newton on tour sort of thing. I know it sounds a bit laddish and that, but there's nothing wrong with getting a picture in front of the Sydney Opera House with the Newton flag. That'll be ace. Anybody that goes.
I annoyed my wife only a matter of days after getting married because when we were on honeymoon in Bali, we had 2 days where we were out and about, and those it's hard to describe, but where you've got like 2 pillars against each other with this like beautiful kind of mosaic thing. And you're supposed to everyone does it, don't they, with the Leaning Tower of Pisa where you put your finger on it and you point. So I, held my hands up, and what did I do? I photoshopped a Newton and Willows FC badge, like I was holding it up in the middle of it, and she really wasn't happy with me posting that. I posted one picture on my honeymoon, and it was me with a fake Newton badge. She did all the other photos, which were lovely.
Fair play for getting to 4 days without being off, to be fair. Most of us, it's 24 hours and we're done in. So, it's a pat on the back for that. But seriously, we are having a giggle. And I will say, I think, there is a little bit of effort put into any volunteering, right? Whether you're a coach on the pitch or fundraising, whatever you do, a bit of admin. But everybody's doing it with a smile on their face. Everyone's enjoying it.
You've got to have a laugh.
You've got to enjoy it. That's why you do it. If you don't enjoy it, and as a volunteer role, ultimately you don't end up doing it. So I think that's what Andy managed to achieve so well, being the chairman of the club. Is I know he gets a bit of a hard press sometimes with getting the blame for things, but he gets things done. Like when I moved up here, there wasn't really a team for my son to join. And he said, you can coach a team. I'm coaching a team. And like you said, everyone involved in this club, pretty much everyone from top to bottom, something like that has happened to get involved. So obviously he's the heart and like the lungs of Newton Willows Football Club, and he's bringing everybody together. And is that element of everyone's a nice person. Me and you, Rob, chatted, didn't we, earlier, saying like, normally you come to these sort of things when we got put in that room together. I only knew Andy. We didn't all know each other, but straight away you gel so well. And that's what's so good about this club, is that element of being able to find a friend within it so quickly. And that's what makes you stay. And that's why I think we've got so many coaches, so many teams that keep on coming, they keep on attending. Kids are staying here, they're growing through the pathways, they're going into the club. That's what we want. We want that across the board, and we're smashing it.
I remember so my mentor, if you like, Jeff Taylor, fantastic. I mean, he's still on the board of trustees and is an unbelievable chairman. Over 16 years has kind of got us from amateur to professional in a sense, not in a footballing sense, but everything that goes around it. And one of the biggest things that I took away is that he's very good at empowering people. So you want to do a podcast, Rob? I don't want to micromanage you and say, do you know what you should do on your podcast? You should do that. And then, Craig, when I did social media back in my day, this is and Phil, said, I want to overhaul the media. Well, do you know what, Phil? You go and do it. You come back with, but what about? I don't want to check your homework. Like, you go away. No idea is a silly idea until we tell you, right? No idea is a silly idea. We'll sit around the table and we'll go. Let's agree a way forward, and only by doing that can you get stuff done. We all hate those managers, don't we, at work that go, you need to do this, you need to do this, you need to do this. That absolutely isn't the way to go forward. So you've all been put in position, and I suppose everyone at the start was a bit like, can I do this? Can I say that? Now, my phone's quite quiet now, and it's like a post will just go up, and I'm delighted at that. And then Phil will come with an idea, and he doesn't run the idea by me anymore. He just puts it in the group, and Michelle will say, I'm going to take photographs at the tournament. Fantastic. There's no one better at the club to go and do that. I'm going to do a podcast on this. League of Their Own. Christmas special. Yeah. Didn't need to run that by me, did you? No. You just thought that would be a right laugh and everyone will love it.
That was a giggle. And Michelle was part of that as well. Yes. So I was going to say, Michelle unfortunately can't make it tonight onto the pod, but she has been on a podcast. So she actually got on a podcast before anybody else. Yeah, it's part of that. I'm actually going to go back to a point about the coaching thing. I feel left out. I'm the only person I think in Newton has never been offered a coaching role.
Well, we'll give Kevin your number. And then you'll be
absolutely not.
You are an Arsenal fan, Rob, so we need to.
Yeah, I'll just play for corners.
Yeah. Set piece, maestro.
Set piece, maestro. Don't worry about anything else and play out from the back. But no, it's quite right. I think the attitude, the autonomy has just come on leaps and bounds. But like Craig said and Phil, I don't say next year, it's just going to evolve. I think we've dipped our toes into maybe TikTok and we've all gone, but it's a young person's game. But actually, I'm not going to name the apps because it's advertising, but there's some things out there and it makes it so easy. What we need to do, I'm going to call out the ladies again because I'm sorry, I'm not going to apologise until they go on there. They come on here, they get called out, but we need that exposure to the first teams as well, because actually, I think we do a crossbar challenge with those guys, and my name's Rob and I'm a midfielder and they've missed the crossbar by it will get likes and it'll get a bit of fun, that sort of thing. And I think they're just some of the ideas we've got in our minds that we'll bring to fruition.
I think touching on it there, that was the one thing that we started when we first started, is what we wanted to prioritise with social media, and that's where the conversation started. And you mentioned in the AGM about focusing on the first teams and making them the pinnacle of the club and where the kids to aspire to and keep them coming through the system there. And that's what we've sort of done this year, I think, mostly on match day stuff, but not so much out of that. And there's a lot of room to grow that there. But talking about next year, I mean, we've still got, what, 6 months? No, not quite 6
Yeah.
months. What, 4 months left
Yeah,
of the season?
I mean, the season effectively ends in June,
Yeah.
like the first of June.
But we are now thinking about prepping and planning for how we tackle next season already.
Well, because this is like, you're actually on the podcast as a guest, Rob. I'm
still hosting at the moment. I'm still hosting at the moment.
There's a microphone in front of me, and I'm the most neutral in this, right?
Okay.
So I was going to take the microphone, and I've just moved it towards me for the listeners. And I want to ask some questions, if that's all right.
Yeah, go.
I'm
Thanks
going
for
to
that.
start with you, Rob.
Okay.
Because you've asked loads of questions to everybody else. So you've gone on, I guess this is the question to all. So you can all have a little think about it, but you get no time to think about it, Rob.
No worries.
Right?
Okay. For the challenge.
So we've been doing this since September. So what 2 things do you want to do differently between now and September, which is the start of the season?
Definitely will be the exposure to the first team. Okay. So maybe a review of the previous week and a preview of the upcoming game.
Yeah.
I think a weekly snap from that would be great for listeners. It doesn't have to be long, but I think, we talk about the youngsters and the exposure to that. I think the coaches would love that as well, to go, I'm aspiring to be the first team coach, etc. I'd love to do that and have a bit of fun with, we've got the audio there or thereabouts, I think. And I'd love to get more video podcasts going now. I just think that is the way forward for us. Yeah, they're my 2 things. Is that okay?
Brilliant. Next question to you, Phil. Same question, actually.
So you probably, this is not a cop out, by the way.
Your excuses in early.
What Rob said.
More thinking time.
Probably hit on what I've been talking about in terms of particularly the first teams, both men's and ladies, that match day experience, putting them a lot more in the limelight. Whether they feel comfortable with that, we'll sort of, if we get Andy to speak to him in
they don't listen to me, mate.
sales, put his sales pitch to him. But just to give that bit of exposure, make them the superstars of the club, so to speak, and get more people, more kids, more local people who may not be connected to the club directly down on match days.
Great answer.
And that would be, that's my goal that I want to happen. I want a Saturday and Sunday at Newton Club here to be rammed, really. So that's what I want to aim towards. So
Brilliant. No, it leads that because you're driving the content to try and raise awareness, which feeds into that objective. That's the media is drawing attention to our seniors, right? That's what we said we were going to do. So I think it's a great answer. Not to leave you out.
Yeah. So this isn't a cop-out.
Right. What Rob said.
I had a little bit more time to think there, so I was working out as we were going along. Obviously, as Rob and Phil said, that's a priority for all of us. Other than that, I think I would like to try and encourage some of the coaches, the junior coaches this is, to bring some of their teams to the club as well, to watch games. I think the idea was always trying to boost the profiles of our senior teams, make them almost household names, make kids look up to our first team number 9, our ladies number 7, etc. But we haven't quite had the input we need to make that happen yet. I've been doing this now since September, and I'm not even too sure of everybody's name. So I want us to get that down. I want us to be able to identify who players are, some consistency with player of the match, goal of the month. I think with goal of the month, we have had the issue with VO, the weather, postponement. So it's not all been something that we can control.
Yeah.
But I think as now we are getting a little bit close to spring, there's a lot of things we can start doing now that we can create the habits that then when we go to the next season, we're in a better position to hit the ground running. That's what I want to be achieving.
Does that meet your expectation, Mr. Chairman?
Oh, as ever, this meeting team has exceeded my expectations. Whether that's my expectations being so low or you lot just being amazing, maybe a bit of both, eh?
Maybe a bit of, we'll take it where we can. I will say I'm a little bit scared about when the ladies do come on because I've called them out that often. They could give me a hard time.
Feisty for you.
They're a quiet bunch, Rob. You'll be fine.
Yeah, I don't think anything can be worse than that Halloween one. That was scary.
Kids in the tweets, was it?
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, the alphas. What an episode.
Like, I still have nightmares. My neck, there's a little twitch that goes off when I think of Halloween, and it's not because it's a scary time. I just remember that episode going.
Shout out to the Alphas, you were amazing.
They were brilliant, but I do feel for your parents.
Wouldn't that be, yeah, you do feel for the parents, but wouldn't that be great to have more teams come on as well?
Oh, 100%.
Just to build a profile of them. I play for Newton the Willows. I love Newton the Willows because, get a few down, get the coaches down, get them, the podcast, we talk about some quite serious subjects, don't we? Like finances, the AGM or whatever. And it's, always done with a little bit of light-hearted stuff. But there's absolutely no problem at all in just having a bit of a laugh and a bit of a giggle with our teams. So there you go. Called you out. Teams, get yourself nominated.
I think we should do a little tour. Like they have a little roster for who's playing on what pitch or whatever. Well, if you get the preferential pitch to train or whatever, you've got to come onto the podcast next.
Yeah. There's not. I mean, one of the things we spoke about is actually going down to match days, not just first team, like senior games, but going down to the 3G or KGV on match day where there's a few games on, and not necessarily watching a game, but interacting with some of the players, coaches, even some of the parents, maybe just to talk about match days themselves and how they goes and things like that. So, it could be a case of we actually start approaching people on the run and getting on the spot responses.
I mean, I'm just going to play this out in my head because that is an amazing idea, Phil. So I've got this thing in my head, right? We're going watching under 10s Cosmos, right? And then Alice Rigby, because I'm looking at you, gets player of the match. So you can't interview her because you just say, Alice, you were rubbish, right? You were an 8 out of 10. I don't know why you got player of the match. So let's go with Craig, who's nice. So Alice, talk to me about your game. How was it? Oh, just fun. How good would you feel as a kid? Yeah. Like, they see it all the time on Sky Sports and TNT and, whatever else, Amazon Prime. Talk to me about they would just feel amazing. We could take the new board, couldn't we?
Yeah. Got to use that board.
Got to use that board.
That has to be done.
We've got tournaments coming up again. Maybe that's something we do. Maybe we all go down there as a media team and we make that happen at the tournament. The weather will be nice. There'll be lots of Newton teams there. There'll be lots of engagement. So,
going down to Wildcats, going down to fundamentals, whatever it is, just to interact with a few players, few coaches, and spend a day or morning there, early Sunday and Saturday morning.
There's no excuse for you at the tournaments, Phil, because you went to every tournament, you and Michelle, pretty much last year. So you've already got a media presence there, always.
I'll let you into a little. Don't tell my missus. I think I told Andy, but I might have just purchased some more toys to play with on this. In that we can be a little bit more remote, so that means that we can go outside and capture some audio. Evidently, we can link that to any video. So with permission, we can do that. So if we go down to games and interview players or coaches or, some people won't want it, that, you put a microphone in front of them. I remember I did a bit for the sports club down there, and there's a rather, the word cocky young lad was giving it the big one, put him in front of the microphone. And it was interesting. So that was funny. But, we've got the opportunity to do that. And look, all we're talking about on this, we've looked back and now it's begun, but we're all saying what we want to do more. That's been a common theme for it, right? So we've all got the drive, we've got the ambition to do it, we've got the technical ability now to do it, and I think we've just established we've got a listener group or a viewers group. People are wanting it. If they didn't, it would tell us. So the stats on the social media tell us, stats on this would tell us. So it's evident people want it. So
and I guess the more differentiation, that dynamic content, and I'm speaking your language here, Craig, so you can correct me if I'm wrong. But for me, I just love the fact that, because I've done the social media for so long, I knew what was coming next. Now I don't know what's coming next. So I'm like looking at it like, isn't that amazing? I mean, I sent you the AGM slides, and I didn't for 1 minute think that you would do what you've done this week with your achievements on the pitch, the Roll of Honour, and then what we've done off the pitch and community impact and all of those things. So I looked at that firsthand like absolutely everybody else. And it was done in such a better way. We talked, didn't we, to use that as an example. So every year at the AGM, for the AGM or for a New Year post, I will go through 12 months worth of social media, and it was literally just a tick emoji next to it, and we've done this, and it looked all right. and now it looks pants after like what Craig has done. So again, you're just looking at that, and hopefully that like dynamic content, something that's not just the fixtures are out or player of the match is out, which is to be expected now. It was great and fresh at the start. Now we're looking at, well, what else can we do? You're looking at from a podcast going, let's do a video pod. Yeah. Let's do a league of their own or a darts competition we've spoken about. And there's one in the room, isn't there? So, shuffleboard, we've been speaking about curling, haven't we, with the Winter Olympics and all of that stuff. So it's really exciting.
It is. It really is. And I think, imagine being a coach or another volunteer at the club, and they put a lot of graft in, right? The WhatsApps will be going, it's 7 days a week that they'll do something, I'm sure, associated. Imagine going, that looks decent what they're doing there. They're recognising things off the pitch as well. Other people are getting involved or doing a bit, and that must feel nice for those guys, because, it's quite warm in here, it's quite dry, it's a nice light, but, out there it's bloody horrible.
It's the easy job, isn't it?
It's the easy bit. So it must feel nice on that respect as well for those guys. So, definitely. It's all very positive, but lots more to come, isn't there?
Lots more to come.
100%.
Lots more. What final thoughts are we leaving on? Because I haven't prepped this at all, and I try to let things go organic. But like when you're part of it, and just so over to the guys.
Well, you still smiling? So are Arsenal still winning?
Yeah, it must be. I think it's half time. 1-0 because
just to call it out, Rob wanted to be gone by 8 o'clock because Arsenal was on, and he's up for work early. So fair play to you for. Taking your day job seriously and
just
doing a
do
podcast.
not tell my missus, because I do not miss an Arsenal game for anything in that house. She cannot listen to this episode.
You got to be clever when you bring this one out, right? So far enough away from this bitch.
If you know Rob's missus, give her a tag.
Yeah.
Oh no, please.
My first thoughts are: I'm not going to end the podcast, but I'm just going to say thank you to the media team. Again, I can't believe I'm saying the media team out loud. But you've all come in with energy and enthusiasm, and you've taken the club's media to levels that I didn't think were achievable come September. It's gone so well in a short space of time, and the really exciting thing is that it feels like it's just the beginning with it. So I'm really looking forward to what next season brings, and we've got the right people doing the right things. So a thank you to the three of you and the extended media team too.
Appreciate that. Thanks, Andy.
Yeah, I think echoing what Andy was saying, really, we're in a second gear here. I think that's what's so exciting about it, is we're getting so much love from the Newton community and the football community of what we're doing, and I think there's so much more to come. And that's what's exciting about it, is we're not just sitting back and thinking, right, it's job done now. We're looking at ways to tweak and fine tune this and get more out of it. So that's what's so good about being involved, is that element of growing, and that's what we want everyone to do. We want everybody to grow with the club through the pathway, through social media, whatever we're doing. We want people to join us and grow.
Well said, that.
I think for me is momentum's key now, is that we've started keeping it up, moving to the next thing, and again to everybody in the club, just come at us with your ideas, get involved with it, because we need the content, and it's your club and it's promoting you and everybody else around you. So just come forward with it, just get involved.
Well said, mate. And you should say thank on behalf of Michelle as well, though, mate, because unfortunately she couldn't make it, but integral part of the team as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
can't say it's a cop out. She's just going to repeat what you said.
Yeah. I mean, for Michelle is and she'll say this herself, is that she enjoys doing what she's doing. Taking the photos, being part of the club, helping out in general is what she enjoys. So again, she's looking for ideas, opportunities, and if anybody wants a bit of focus on them, you could probably arrange something with her, and she'll come down and take some photos. She'll, just make sure you get in touch with her, and she'll come down.
She's got some really good ideas, because you've talked about, as an example, you've talked about player profiles, for the seniors. Phil then next day, a bit like you, went on Amazon, saw something, bought a green screen, right? And Michelle's ready and waiting with the photos, for the next season. Talked about doing things at presentation days that we're going to have at the football club, and you know what? It's just tournaments is going to be a big thing for the club, and took loads of good photos, but didn't quite know what to do with it. So absolutely, just to back what Phil's saying up, you know, there's 3 of us here tonight. Well, 4 of us, sorry, because you're part of it, Rob. Well, 3 of us, I'm not really part of it, but I'm kind of part of it at the same time. We'll go with 3. But that wider team, like that content, everything just seems to work in harmony. Like, Craig needs those photos in order to build the social media posts. We need your podcast to promote other areas of the club, which helps Phil in turn from a commercial perspective and driving traffic to the website. I'll say it again, we are going to do stuff on the website and so on and so on and so on. So it's not like you're going in your direction, which is ignoring 3 other people. Everybody is kind of doing their thing for that common goal, which is the document and agenda that you put together way back when.
Absolutely. And I love the fact that Phil just said Michelle will do anything when she's not here. So if you're not here, you get stitched up, so fair play. I'm going to set us a challenge, right? It's just come to me at the top of my head. So Andy asked us a couple of things. What do we want to see between now and September? How about we come back in September as this same team, right? And Andy measures our success. So rag it, all right? And be open. Green. Yeah, so no, but we've started. We've got the building blocks. But if we're serious about it, actions speak louder than words, in my opinion. And I think there's a lot of head nodding and whatever, but it's not a vacant head nod. It's let's get after it, and then just rag it in September and see where we are. And if there are ambers or opportunities and reds, no worries. Let's not worry about it. But opportunities, I don't think it's going to be that, but. Yeah, let's have a look. Is that fair?
You've gone from not wanting to do your own media podcast to booking a second media podcast.
Absolutely. I like it. Yeah. I like being on the other side. I prefer it. 2 easy questions. No worries. Any lasting thoughts, guys? Because this has been brilliant, actually, just getting us all together. We've almost had a meeting and a podcast, which is brainstorming.
It's just tick that box, hasn't it? I think there's no such thing as bad content. Whatever you got, like I say, with some messages, I feel like some people feel like maybe they're wasting my time. Like, I don't know if you want this. I do want it. Like, send it to me. There's no such thing as bad content. We'll make it work. We'll find a place for it. So just please, everybody, just keep on sending things in.
For me, like I said, I just want us to look. We're doing it for the club. So if you've got something or an idea, come and throw it at us. We'll take it on board and we'll try and implement it. We're not here just to do it our way.
100%.
Square pegs, square holes. Job done.
Nice one. And ladies, I'm not going to stop until you get on. So, guys, thank you very much. Well done. Enjoyed that one.
Cheers. Thank you.
If you enjoyed that episode, do us a favour, hit the subscribe button, like it, love it, share it. If you want to come onto the podcast, drop us a note on all the socials, or if you want to nominate someone coming on, that'd be amazing. We've got some amazing guests coming up again soon. Newton Willows FC, Forza Newton.